What is up, guys? Doing another one-down character build. Today we're taking a look at Clover, the burglar of the Payday gang. Alright, let's go ahead and look at what we're packing. Bringing the Queen's Wrath rifle, of course, as it's tied to the Clover character. A Cobus 90 submachine gun secondary. Clover's special melee weapon, that I'm not even going to try to pronounce. The concussion grenade throwable, the burglar perk deck, two-piece suit, first aid kits. Let's look at the mods that we're running on our guns. Using the medium suppressor, concealment boost, versatile foregrip, delightful grip, speed pull magazine for the Queen's Wrath, and then for the Cobus we're using the Mall Ninja barrel, the concealment boost modifier, particularly the one that gives +2, and the speed pull magazine. Let's go ahead and take a look at the skill set that we're using. Of course, using Upper's Aced along with Converts. Converts actually tying in a bit with some of the perk bonuses that you get from Burglar, where when you are crouching and standing still, enemies will be less likely to aim at you. Converts will be able to give that some purpose, since otherwise we're not working with teammates. Stable shot is a throwaway point. Some standard stuff in Enforcer. A jack of all trades aced, or I'm sorry, basic, to lay down first aid kits faster. Some other things to, some other skills for our auto fire weaponry here. 50 more bullets in the magazine, accuracy while shooting from the hip, decreased accuracy penalty while moving, increased weapon accuracy. I have nimble ace so I can pick open safes, and of course some dodge skills, some silencer skills to increase the lethality of my weapons, and so forth. Clover, of course, being a sneaky person, most of her points will be distributed into the ghost tree. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a little quick look at our gameplay. So, surprisingly, Burglar was a relatively fine perk deck for Loud. I didn't really struggle with it all too much. It's just a pretty standard dodge build with some quirks that are added in order to make stealth a little bit easier. Of course, these perks that are added into this perk deck, of course, are, as I just said, tailored for stealth, and typically most people will use the Burglar perk deck as a stealth-only perk deck, utilizing its dodge aspects kind of as a backup plan in case the heist goes Loud. However, there are other pretty objectively better pseudo-stealth perk decks that you can utilize. A lot of builds either utilize Anarchist or Rogue in their pseudo-stealth. Pseudo-stealth builds are more useful for Crime Spree and things like that, where you prepare to stealth at least one part of the heist and prepare for it to go Loud in case things go south. So Nimble Ace, of course, allowed me to pick open these safes pretty quickly so that I could go ahead and get the escape objective to proc. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, while I was using the Burglar perk deck, I had around 40 dodge at any given time. I don't believe you get any extra bonuses via dodge by standing still and crouching. The bonuses that come from standing still and crouching are tied to enemy aiming priority. There might be like a 5 or maybe even 10% bonus applied. I'm not 100% sure. Let me actually go ahead and peer at that for a second while I'm finishing up the lockpicking interaction. Yeah, okay, you get an increased armor recovery rate while you're standing still and crouching, about a 20% armor recovery rate, and there's a 20% less of a chance to be targeted while standing still and crouching. Of course, if you tie that in with the skill Optical Illusions, which are 35% less likely to be targeted, that's adds up to a 55 less likely chance to be targeted, which is pretty nice. And of course you get a crouch movement speed bonus and things like that. It's actually pretty handy, especially for heists where you're going to be doing a lot of sitting. Of course, Rogue would get a better flat chance and things like that, but Burglar could actually be utilized theoretically in pseudo-stealth builds if you were prepared to apply it correctly. However, I'm sure most people will agree that the perk deck was not made with Loud as the intended usage for this perk deck. It was kind of an afterthought, just to make it to where it wasn't entirely useless in case the heist went south. Its primary usage is, of course, for stealth. Kind of funny how we'll be doing a build video at a later date for the Yakuza perk deck, which is notorious for being a pretty bad Loud perk deck overall, which actually has its own niche use for stealth. So it kind of had the inverse effect. It was made with the intended purpose of being used in Loud, but I use it, and some other people have found usage for it in stealth instead. But we'll highlight that at a later date. Right now we're talking about Burglar. All in all, there really isn't much to using this deck. Just crouch. No other special playstyle things really needed. The extra crouch movement speed, you vaguely notice it to a degree, and it's rather nice. Nothing insane. The melee weapon is nothing extraordinary, just like most of the melee in this game, except for the ones with special effects, or the ones that deal higher amounts of damage or have extraordinarily high knockback. I didn't have any melee skills boosting it, so it didn't really make too much of a difference. That was alright though. The Queen's Wrath rifle and the Cobus. Queen's Wrath probably wouldn't be very useful if I wouldn't have turned it into a crit machine with high rate of fire. The Cobus, however, I feel like kind of has its own niche as a bullet hose. An extremely high rate of fire machine gun with pretty decent weapon damage, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, crits help it immensely in that regard. You can also get it to a relatively nice concealment. I'm not sure what the highest absolute concealment you can get it to is, but it's still pretty nice. I didn't, of course, go for the absolute max concealment on the Cobus. I wanted to use the Maul Ninja Barrel. Not something I'd ever utilized too terribly much. But all in all, it was actually way easier to use this perk deck than some of the others I've attempted at utilizing for Loud, such as Hitman, which in theory should be better, and things of that nature. So, pretty quick gameplay video. There really wasn't too much to talk about since it's really just a dodge perk deck. But, as usual, thank you guys so much for watching.